Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today we're looking at the SOG or SOG Flare. This is an everyday carry knife. It's listed as a daily use on their website. So let's take a look, shall we? Obviously it's got a different kind of locking mechanism. So if I put that where you can't see the red, you can't open it. If you put it back to the red mark, you can then open it. I said it is an auto assist, so let's take a look. It's got a pretty good kick to it. So this is obviously a satin polished blade. It's a clip point style with a plain edge. Right. The steel is an 8CR 13 MOV, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it was. Hardness is between 54 and 58 on the Rockwell scale. So overall length from tip to end is 8 inches. You might be wondering, why aren't you worried about cutting yourself? Because this thing is dull as hell. I had it for a few weeks. I put it through its paces, and it came out of the box dull to begin with. So I did sharpen it once with a Speedy Sharp, but that's about it. So close length or handle length is 4.5 inches. Blade is 3.5 inches. Combined, you're at an 8-inch long blade. It is an auto assist. It is made in China. Not much of a surprise there. Most knives are. Not all, but most. This uses this little slide. If you slide this all the way back, you can close the blade. And by the way, it is really hard to close it one-handed. On SOG's website, they show it as a two-handed close. It's doable, but it's really hard. Alright. So, and you can hear it. It's pretty hard to close. The left-handed, by the way, because it is a little thumb stud and it does have a pocket clip, is easier to close left-handed if you're a right-handed person. Now, I don't know if that's the same for left-handed people, but if you're left-handed, or if you're right-handed and you're closing with your left, put your middle finger on the lock here. You can push it forward. You can choke up on the knife quite a bit more. Get your finger in a good position at the top, your index finger, move your other fingers on the side. And then it closes a lot easier. So now I'm right-handed, so right-hand dominant, I should be really strong with my right hand, other than using it for 40 years, all sorts of things, riding and opening up doors and whatever else. So yeah, it's interesting that it's easier to close left-handed. If you do it right-handed, again, you're pretty much pulling down on this unless you somehow get your, let's see. Yeah, the only way I can think of it is putting your finger, see, I can't do that because then my fingers are in the way for leverage. I'd have to pull down on this and push with my index finger, and it's a complicated, yeah. So on SOG's website, this is what they do. So it's got a pretty good sounding thunk there. If you check it out, the blade is not quite center, and well, that's about the beginning of the bad news. Other than it came dull from factory. If you look really carefully, the tip is bent. So it didn't take much to bend it. But again, that's the point, so I'm not too worried about it. There is very little play this way, which is a lot of complaints that there is a lot of play. And there's very little play this way. However, in the process of closing it, watch this joint here at the end for this plastic handle. Right about there. It actually widens. Watch the white background there through the gap. You can see it widen, actually spreads the plastic apart, which I think is probably part of the reason why people have such a hard time closing it. And initially, when I first got it, it was nearly impossible to open. I had to use two hands to open it originally. I had to hold here and this at the same time. Now, I don't know if I can get the sound. So, it's dragging. However, the part of the mechanism is, it's dragging. The more you do that, this going back and forth, just that amount where you hear it dragging. Just be careful of your fingers, of course. The blade will start getting warm. which tells me there's excess friction there. I don't know. See, I can't tell on the inside. Let me grab a flashlight here. See if I could tell what. It doesn't look like ball bearings. There's a lot of friction in there. The more you do this, the easier it is to open it. And for that matter, to close it. Once it warms up, it's really easy to close. So that's a bit of an oddity. So something's binding and pressing the plastic handles apart. Now, I like SOG. And granted, this is a budget knife by SOG. I actually have a few other items that are budget knives from SOG. This is the only one that I'm disappointed on, and I put that with a question mark because it's got some interesting features like this lock here. So now it can't be opened. Can't open it that way. There's a little bit of flex there. Actually flex at the head up top here, not even at the bottom of the blade, but up top here. But it is a pretty positive lock. I don't know. Maybe it was just bad quality control, but there's a lot of complaints even on SOG's website that they're difficult to open, difficult to close, and that there's movement of the blade. I don't have that kind of movement of the blade. Instead, the actual handle moves. But once you do free it up for a little bit, it does get much easier to open. So if you get it on sale or somebody gives it to you as a gift, it's not garbage. It just needs a little bit of TLC. Am I disappointed in this being SOG quality? Yeah, it's a great looking knife. It's nice and light. It's only like 2 or 3 ounces. It's really light. Balance is not too bad. It's right about where this lock is. Right about there. It does come absolutely dull. There's nothing there. Unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe they saved money on production by not sharpening it. I don't know. And unfortunately, like I like to do honest reviews, and unfortunately sometimes my affiliates or companies I do like do get a bad product. Instead, it needs a little bit of TLC, maybe some lubrication, somebody take it apart and lubricate this pivot here. But, it's fine for what it is, it just needs work. So if you don't mind fiddling with it, then it would be fine. If you want a knife right out of the box that's perfect, this unfortunately is not it. So, it's got chipping at the top of the handle here, but not on the blade itself. Although, it does have the ramp up there, so it would be harder to slide your hand off. I'm not worried about what feels like low quality for a handle, because it is light. With it open, I don't know if I can see how hollow it is. See, it's pretty empty on the inside, so it's really, really light. The spring is that red thing on the inside. Let me see if I can get this to... There we go. More of a spotlight. Let's see if we can lower it so it's not so bright on camera here. So it's pretty open on the inside, so it is light. It doesn't feel good closing it. Or opening it. Opening has gotten better. You can see I'm always constantly going this way because I prefer liner locks. But after a little bit of use, that gets easier. See, you can close it one-handed. Right-handed, it's difficult. And of course, so that time was easier than the first time around. And then left-handed, because you can put your finger there, much easier. So, that is the SOG Flare. Not perfect by any means, not horrible by any means. It's more of a work in progress. So that's it. So thank you for watching about the SOG Flare. Any questions or comments, leave them below and I will answer them pretty quickly. There will be a link in the description to where you can find this on Amazon and SOG's website directly. I believe putting, the OE, well, I'm used to cars, original equipment, but the original website for the company for their products, so that's the most accurate information there is, as opposed to some of the weird Amazon listings. So that's it. So thank you for watching. If you haven't liked this, press like or dislike. Doesn't matter to me either way, whichever you feel about it. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a glorious day.